Hello everyone and welcome to my draft analysis for the UBC. For those who don't know, the UBC is I believe it's United Battle Championship League, and it's commissioned by my friend Adam the Bee's Knees, and I have recently joined in this newest season. So let's get right into it. As you can see on the screen here is Mega Latios. So I used normal Latios way back in NPL Minors Season 1, and I loved it. It had the highest differential. It was my MVP, basically. I believe it only died 4 times, and 2 of those were from me using Memento. So, it had a pretty great season. It was super consistent. I remember that it never actually got more than 2 kills a game, but it was still ended up being my highest just because every game it put in those 2 kills basically, and yeah, I just loved it. So I wanted to try the Mega Form, so that's why I picked it first round, because it's something I really wanted to try. The Mega Form has a lot more defensive capability than normal Latios, but I have to say it probably has less offensive capability. Obviously, either normal or Mega can both run offensive or more defensive, bulky, like Calm Mind variant. But I believe that one is better at it than the other, and vice versa. Normal Latios is really good because of its ability to use an item. Mega Latios doesn't really get that, and it's sort of like like a Mega Scizor and Scizor scenario, where Mega Scizor is better stat-wise and different things like that, but normal Scizor is very nice to have just because it can use different items. It can hold an Aka Berry and things like that. I kind of think it's the same way with Latios and Mega Latios, so I don't know if I'll like it as much as crazy as that may sound. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to use it. It still has the offensive capabilities that Latios has. It has the high speed. I don't remember if it gets more special attack when it Mega Evolves. It probably does. But yeah, just overall excited to use it. Next we have Thundurus Incarnate, and basically all the electric flying types are really good, and this is one of the ones that I have not used yet. Has access to Prankster Thunder Waves, which is really nice. Prankster Taunts. This Prankster is a great move or ability in general. Access to Volt Switch. Always nice to have a good Volt turn core. And I also chose it as my Z move user, so it gets a lot of coverage and different things I can do with that. Yeah, I guess that's basically it. Thundurus has a lot that it can do, and I'm excited to tap that potential in this upcoming season. Next, we have Lucario. Some people might think it's a little strange to have round 3, but I think it's worth it. Kinda low speed, but gets a lot of good setup things like agility, and has lots of good priority, so it kind of balances itself out there a little bit. Great typing, decent coverage, sword stance, agility, lots of different setup potential, like I said. It's always good to have a steel type for those fairies. Not the best steel type to deal with fairies, since it's also fighting type, but at least it's something. It's still a great mod on its own, and I hope I can use it to its full extent. Next, we have Roserade. So here's where I start getting into my Fire, Water, Grass core a little bit. Roserade is, I believe, a grass type I've never tried. I might have used it once, maybe. But it has Technician hidden powers, which is amazing. You know, hidden power is such a big thing in League format. Also has access to spikes. Even if it's not the best spiker in the world, or it doesn't like want to be a spiker generally, I always like having that option on my team to be able to spike if I want to. And of course, toxic spikes as well are also a thing. Let's see. Poison typing is great with grass as well. You know, sludge bombs are very powerful, and you know, it has basically infinite coverage for those hidden powers, and yeah, it's very strong. It can hopefully do a lot for me this season. As I said, Fire, Water, Grass core. Next up we have Arcanine. Arcanine, it was the same points as Entei, and as much as I wanted to pick up Entei, like, you know how much I love Entei. I love Entei to death. But Arcanine is just slightly better in the format. I believe this is something I said a long time ago in one of my first ever videos. That I just like Arcanine slightly more. It's because it has the ability to go physical, special, or bulky, like defensive. It has a lot more versatility than Entei, and yeah, I feel like Entei is just not as good this gen either, with like Burn being nerfed and Sacred Fire being the biggest thing for Entei, getting its burns. Of course, Arcanine can burn things as well, but it doesn't rely on it as much as Entei. So that's why I picked Arcanine. Has great abilities, Intimidate and Flash Fire and such. Has access to Toxic for a defensive set, and Morning Sun. Could probably use a bit more on the coverage side, but I think I can work with that. I don't think it'll be too big of an issue, hopefully. Yeah, that's about it, I guess. Next up, we have Chansey, and I generally don't like using mons like this that are like, I don't know, pure defensive and nothing else. Like, I don't know. It's not the NPL, so I wanted to try out some different things, basically. I don't hate it. Like, I'm interested to use it, but I don't know. It'll be interesting, I guess. The main thing for picking this up was I thought that Chansey and Megaladios core would be just disgusting. The biggest issue would be things like knockoff. You know, knockoff doesn't get its full base power with Latios, obviously, but it still does hurt, as it's a super effective move, and it of course knocks off the Eviolite of Chansey. So one good thing is that I have a Lucario, so I get justified boosts and things like that, and I pick up some more things later to deal with knockoff, as you will see, I believe, right here. Yes. The end of my Fire, Water, Grass core is Primarina. It's also my fairy for my Fairy Dragon Steel, and that was my biggest worry picking this thing up, is it being the water type and the fairy type of those cores. I feel like it's going to be relied on a little bit too much. So, I don't know, it's a bit of a worry. I feel like it'll be coming to a lot of games just because it has those typings that are often needed in certain situations. So, yeah. But Primarina is one of the Gen 7 mons that I've wanted to try the most. This has great, like, offensive capabilities, but also great, like, bulky, more defensive capabilities. You know, it's a bulky water type that can really hit hard if it wants to, I think. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to use it for that, and see what in its move pool I can maybe access that people wouldn't expect. Next up, we have Tyranitar, and the reason this lasted so late is because this is a points draft. So don't think I got this for a steal or anything. You know, it's the same amount of points as it would have been if I got it earlier. So, yeah, finally picking up a mascot pick. You know, I've never picked up Entei. Only just now getting Tyranitar for my Tyranitar heals. Which also, if you look in the top left corner there, you can see my amazing new logo. It's pretty great. The only difference is I haven't been spelling it. I haven't been using a space between the Tyranitar and the heels previously, but I probably should have, since the Tar Heels has a space in it in the actual team name. So it just kind of looked weird to me, but it's fine. I'm just gonna go with that as my spelling of it from now on, because that's how it should be, I think. So yeah, onto Tyranitar. I felt like it just fit my draft a lot for something that was still around that late, and like I said, it was a mascot pick. It seemed fun to use. I needed more stealth rockers for sure. I believe at this point my only one was Chansey, which can be a stealth rocker, but not really the best one probably. Yeah, Tyranitar can do a whole bunch of stuff. I've seen it do basically everything in League. It's not too worried about that 4x fighting weakness, because you know the main things that will take advantage of the main way to take advantage of 4x weaknesses in League format is through hidden powers. And in the sand, Tyranitar has a bunch of special defense, and it just doesn't really worry about hidden power fighting that much. So yeah, there's that. It's probably one of the better, if not the best, 4x weak thing to get in League, in my opinion. So yeah, lots of different things it could do. I've seen it go special. I've seen it go scarf. Like I said, obviously a stealth rocker. Generally the mega set dragon dances, but you know, maybe dragon dance set for a normal Tyranitar. That could be a thing. Who knows? Next up, we have Sand Slash. This was only 2 points extra for being sand, because it was like a 1.4 times thing, and Sand Slash was already pretty low, so it didn't add too many points. So I thought it fit pretty well, since I needed a rapid spinner and could also use another stealth rocker. And now I also have a sand sweeper, which is pretty nice. It actually gets like more coverage than I thought it did. Like, it's not amazing coverage, but it's not terrible either. So yeah, I'm hoping I can use this well. It should certainly be fun. I've used Sand Excadrill in the past, and it just wrecked. And I know this won't be anywhere near the same level, but I believe I can get it to work. I'm excited to use it. So next up, we have Dusknoir. Once again, I felt like a ghost type really fit with the normal type Chansey that I was going for, and once again, kind of knockoff weak, but you know, I've got Primarina and Tyranitar now, as well as Lucario, so I'm pretty set when it comes to dealing with knockoff. I think I should be okay, and you know, this can run a Colbert Berry as well, so there are different ways around knockoff. I'm not too worried about that at the moment. Dusknoir gets some pretty great coverage, to be honest. I believe it gets like elemental punches and you know, tons of status moves. You know, I think there are lots of different things that you can do with Dusknoir, and I think it's definitely going to be an unexpected, underappreciated mon, and I may be able to sneak in some cool sets with it. Yeah. Next up, we have Floatzel. I said back in Primarina that I was worried about Primarina being the water type and the fairy type in both the cores, so I thought adding an extra water type that wasn't really bulky like Primarina and a more offensive one would be nice. Floatzel has a lot of speed, has decent setup potential with like bulk up and things like that. Priority Aqua Jets, just pretty strong mon that I feel like can maybe do something. I don't know. Mainly getting it for its speed, I'd say. I really love fast mons, so hopefully Floatzel will prove its worthiness this season. And lastly, we have Lopunny. It was just the best thing that was around for 1 point. The 1 point mons were really pretty garbage. This was the only thing that was like kind of not. I may end up trading this and Chansey for Blissey in free agency, because I think Blissey is probably a little bit better in league format and less knockoff week, of course. Yeah, I don't really have too much to say about Lopunny. I don't really know if it's even going to be coming to any of these games, but I think it has the most potential to come to a game, more so than any other 1 point mon. So, yeah, there's that. And lastly, we see the team all here together, just talking about its synergies and stuff. Let's see. What am I most excited about for this team? I'd say probably Mega Latios, but like I said, I don't know if I'll even like it as much as normal Latios. Primarina should be fun, and I think you'll see a lot of it this season, just because it's my only fairy type, and fairy types are pretty important in this generation. So yeah, look out for Primarina and Mega Latios. Those should be the most fun to use. Let's see, is there anything else that I really want to say? I believe that week 1 for the UBC starts up on the 14th, so be on the lookout for that. NPL Miners will also be starting up very soon. You'll probably see a draft analysis for that go up before you see week 1 of the UBC. So yeah, you'll see both of those going on at the same time on this channel, which is going to be a little nerve-wracking for me, trying to build and prep. Yes, that is definitely not the same thing. Trying to build, trying to mock, trying to actually schedule battles, get them done, trying to do team builders and videos, and just other things going on in my life. It's gonna be pretty busy. I've never really taken on 2 leagues like this before, where I try to put like a bunch of effort into both, and that's gonna be time consuming, and I just really hope I don't get burned out. But so far I'm pretty excited to be back into leagues and back into YouTube. If you liked the video, you can give it a like if you want. I don't know. I don't really care. Yeah, I guess that's about it. Be on the lookout for NPL Miners draft analysis and UBC week 1 coming soon. See ya.